I read that the Grand Central Market first opened in 1917. I even read that Frank Lloyd Wright even occupied some of the offices above the market. So this building's got some history. The Grand Central Market's been around ever since I can remember. When I was a kid, it was a much different place though. There was sawdust on the floor, and there was a whole bunch of vendors selling fruits, vegetables, dry fruits. There was even butchers. But in 2013, things started changing up a little bit. The Grand Central Market went through renovation, and it kind of turned into a giant food court. But it's just not chain food. You can actually find some really good stuff to eat down here. You know what's really cool is that almost every single place in this market sells beer or wine. Olio is a pizza spot, and they use a wood-burning oven, so you know the taste is different. The margarita is a simple pizza, but it's delicious. The cheese is creamy, but it still strings like traditional pizza, and the crust was somehow crunchy and soft and chewy at the same time. They use really fresh ingredients. They were chopping up basil when I got here, and the smell of the basil is actually what attracted me. I got a personal size and an IPA. Came out to $25. The beer was warm though. Still drank it.
She's warm.
Saritas Pupuserias is a Salvadorian spot, and they serve all sorts of Salvadorian food, but I always have the pupusas when I come here. The revuelta was right. But I think what makes the Grand Central Market special is that there's food that represent almost every culture. And if you really want to get deep about it, the Grand Central Market is almost like a mirrored reflection of LA City, a melting pot. Everybody knows about egg slut. There's usually a huge line. I kept it simple today. I got the good old slut. It seems like it's a poached egg sitting on very creamy and buttery mashed potatoes. Berlin currywurst was I got the veal sausage with the curry sauce. But one of my favorite spots has to be this Filipino place called Sari Sari. I've never had anything but the fried rice bowl, but believe me, the shit, I'm addicted to this stuff. There's so many places to eat and see in the Grand Central Market. You can probably come back every day for 2 months and try something new every time. This back wall right here is where all the butchers used to be back in the day. The whole back wall was lined up with different vendors. Old school butchers too, you can get any cut, even primals. And they put it in that brown paper, butcher paper stuff. That was cool. Okay, so this section right here is more of what it used to look like back in the day. On the left here you have like all this candy and nuts, dried nuts, candied nuts, sorry, I said dried nuts. Candy nuts, and on the right you have fruits. So the whole market was like this. So pricing was always the best because all these vendors were competing against each other. And you know, the Grand Central Market is in downtown LA, so there's plenty to do afterwards. And you can walk most places too. Angel's Flight is right across the street. This is one of the oldest cable carts in the city, and you can tell. Something really cool about how it shakes and rattles and moans as it goes along. At the top, you're going to find Bunker Hill. This is the financial district. But this area is pretty special too because there's plenty of walkways, bridges, courtyards, and gardens you can walk through. All open to the public. I mean, there's plenty of places to take pictures or just hang out and kick it for a bit if you want. You know, a lot of people don't know that these beautiful manicured gardens and courtyards are open to the public. And there's fountains and water features everywhere. The Bank of America Plaza Waterfalls is the coolest one. Unfortunately, the waterfalls were off today. And the courtyards are really cool. They're like nice, clean parks with relaxing water sounds in the midst of these gigantic skyscrapers. You don't really appreciate the size of the building, the architecture, and the engineering that went into this until you're sitting at the base, looking up. All these buildings are interconnected through pathways, and if you keep walking, you'll keep coming across these courtyards. I think the best part about hiking through the buildings, through all the pathways and bridges, is the beautiful views that you get of the city. And all these spaces are open to the public, so you can have lunch here. You can sit down and chill for a little bit. This is pretty much just the lobby of one of those high-rise buildings. But again, it's open spaces, open for anybody to come through and just explore. The Bonaventure is a hotel with a really weird architecture. There's also water features in the lobby and a bar. And the original plan was to stop in and order an old-fashioned before getting back on my hike, but the bar was closed, so I guess I'll have to do that next time. You can continue on these paths and bridges and eventually it'll take you over to the Central Library. The Central Library also has some pretty cool water features, but they all seem to be off today. It's like a church. Hello? You could spend the whole day in the Central Library if you really wanted to. There's lots to see and do, but you still have to wear a mask here. There's still a mandate in government buildings. Alright guys, I guess that's all I got for you today, and I really appreciate you spending some time with me. I'm pretty new to YouTube, and I want to continue to do this, and you know nothing motivates me more than subscribers and likes, so please subscribe, please like, and please share. And I guess I'll catch you on the next. Peace.